Hey there folks, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome back to another beautiful cold day here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. Today we're going to be having a little bit of fun and we're going to talk about two dirty words on your property or on your farm. Deferred maintenance, okay? So I'm about 15 hours over on the oil change on this Honda Foreman 500. We're going to be pulling it in the shop today. We're going to be doing a little bit of wrenching. We'll show you guys how easy it is to service a Honda Foreman 500. We're just going to turn some wrenches, have some fun, and do a little talking. All right? Woo! Woo! Stoney Ridge. Stoney Ridge Farm. Woo! So in case you guys are new to the channel, please jump in here, pound that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you back. What we're doing today, I bought two Honda Foreman 500s. One Honda Foreman 500 is this one. It's my workhorse. I use it every single day to roll hay bales out to my cattle here on the farm, and it puts a low footprint on the land. So in other words, it doesn't dig huge ruts into the land as if I was taking a tractor out onto our mushy wet land here in February. I guess it's February now. So that's what this thing gets used for, and the reason the maintenance has been deferred, it's been freezing cold out here and my shop is way too small. So join us on the channel. We're getting ready to build a bigger shop. Hopefully by the end of the year this year, we'll have something in the neighborhood of 50 by 150, maybe even bigger, where we can pull in, we can work on stuff, we can work on old pickup trucks and stuff like that, like we like to do here on the farm. So let's pull inside the garage here and we'll just show you what we got to do. Okay, so we're on the left-hand side. This would be what you'd call, I guess, the driver's side of this machine. And there's a little tab. We'll pull this tab off. We're gonna sit this guy in the back. And then here's the dipstick where you check your oil, okay? I'm gonna wipe around in here a little bit, make sure it's not too dirty. Then we're gonna pop that dipstick out just to show you I'm not a really bad person. This oil probably doesn't look very dark at all. Again, this is the first oil change, so it doesn't look dark. It looks just fine. We're gonna slip this guy back in here. Again, I wanna make sure that we wipe this area clean before we go reinstalling everything. So we're just loosely installing this, and then we're gonna pull the fairing off on the other side, and that's how we'll access the filter. So let's go over to the other side. Okay, so this is the first service on this machine. I believe it's supposed to be at 100 miles or 20 hours. Inside here is your air filter. We'll pop the cover off the air filter. There are 4 little tabs right there. Just take a quick peek in here. I don't think we're gonna have any, there's no cleanliness issue with the air filter. It looks just like it's brand new. So we'll just slip the cover back on with our air filter. There are 4 tabs right here. Now, we've got to pull this side fairing off of the machine. Pretty simple stuff. All it takes is a flat tip screwdriver and we'll remove this side. So a little tab right here, boop, boop, pop that guy out, get him out of the way. Slip him to the side here. You can see we're almost totally loose. We just pop these guys. Everything on these Hondas just pops loose, and it's pops loose for a reason, because it's simple to get on and off and simple to service. That's what it's all about. Plus, if you roll the four-wheeler, you can replace the parts really simply. We're gonna come over here to the other side, and we're actually gonna pop the fairing off the entire fuel tank area right here, okay? Simple enough, pop everything off. There we go. All right, so there's a pull tab this way, a pull tab this direction, and we just pop them right off. This is very simple stuff. ABCs of ATVs. Okay, reach around here, and one more little pop tab right there, okay? Off comes our fairing. Now, right down here is our cover, and that's what houses the oil filter. Okie doke, so under the machine we go, and basically directly in the center right here is where our oil change plug, our drain plug is gonna be. So we're gonna reach up under here, and I believe this is a 17 millimeter. Okay, get that 17 millimeter on there, pop her loose. If we turn the wrench the right way, there we go. There we go. All right. Loosen that up, and then we'll drain our oil from our crankcase. This should be 3.2 quarts of oil. Let's see if we can do this without getting it all over the shop floor and all over my arm. Nothing like oil running down under your armpit. Okay, there we go. Well, she's a little bit on the dark side. Probably should have changed it a little bit sooner. Now I want to inspect my little washer, make sure that's in good shape, and we'll let all the oil drain out. I'll reach up here, loosen up the cap, and let her drain on out. 3.2 quarts isn't going to take very long to drain. I did let this machine warm up for, I don't know, a good 5 minutes or so, just so the oil's somewhere in the neighborhood of 110 degrees. Not so hot that it scalds you, but warm enough for the oil to run out. This is a cold day out here. Last night it was down to like 17 degrees, so definitely needed to warm the machine up just a little bit before we did this. We're getting pretty close right now. I'm wiping off with a nice clean shop towel our drain plug, and I don't believe that that's a magnetic drain plug, so I always like a magnetic drain plug to catch any kind of debris that might be in the bottom of the crankcase. This is our first oil change, so I don't anticipate a whole lot of yuck. And guys, be sure you stick around to the end. We'll show you how to reset the maintenance light up here when we get done. Okay, we're going to take our rag, we're going to go up here, we're going to wipe everything clean, make sure we're not introducing any contaminants into our oil system. And we're still dribbling just a little bit of oil, but that's okay. Tighten this guy back in place, and we'll get over here and we'll change our filter. Okay, snug her down. I'm sure there's a spec on that. You can look that up on the Honda website if you want to. Okay, we're gonna take the same rag because we've got a little bit of dirt, a little bit of mud. This machine gets used. It's used on the farm, so we're gonna take a rag and wipe off just a little bit, any of this surface dirt, before we start pulling out this filter. And it's got a nice notice. Notice, filter seal faces out, okay? You don't wanna rob your crankcase of oil by putting this on the wrong way. Right, what we've got is a 8mm wrench. We'll just get this guy off. Doesn't have to be gorilla tight, doesn't have to be anything super special. Just take care to do a good job. 3 bolts. Reason I've got these gloves on my hands is simply because it's chilly outside, man. I want to protect these bolts. Don't let them get too dirty or anything. You can see there's ice down in there. Okay, you probably want to go ahead and have your drain pan up underneath when you get ready to pull this cover off, just in case you're going to get a little bit of nasty, a little bit of oil leakage. So we'll slip this guy off. There should be a rubber O-ring that holds it in place. There we go. Very, very simple. There's a spring in here, so we want to be careful. Pull this guy off. You can see in there, there's some old oil in there. We'll set this to the side. Make sure we're not going to get any contaminants in there. We'll pull out our old oil filter. You got to be careful. Again, there is a spring back here, and there is a rubber piece right here. It says clearly on this, outside, okay? So be sure you put it back in the correct manner. This rubber O-ring goes on the outside. All right, we're gonna set our old filter here. This is our new genuine Honda filter. I'll post links down in the video description for you guys, so you'll have a list of all the parts. We're using genuine Honda oil and genuine Honda oil filters. You can use the oil of your choice as long as it's good for a wet clutch system. I'm told it will work just fine. And once again, this says outside, okay? So we're gonna slip this guy back in, just the exact same way that it came out. We're going to inspect our little O-ring right here, make sure it's in good shape. It's got plenty of oil on it. I'm actually going to pour a little bit of the oil out into my drain pan real quick, and then we'll slip it on and replace it. And you want to also inspect this O-ring right here. There's a tiny O-ring right there you want to inspect, okay? Very simple. Pops back into place. We'll go ahead and get one of these bolts started back, get it snugged down, then we'll put the rest of them back in place. Remember that this is spring loaded, so it's going to try to push back on you a little bit. hold it in place while you install your bolts back on there. I'm sure there's a spec for this too, but just tighten it down, just snug it up. Don't have to go gorilla tight. Just snug it up. And we're in good shape. We're gonna go ahead and refill our crankcase. Very nice. All right, we're gonna pull our dipstick out, put them in a nice clean place while we go ahead and refill our crankcase. And again, this is supposed to take 3.2 quarts. This is genuine Honda Gen 4 GN4 10W30 oil for a wet clutch system. Okay. Boy, it's cold out here. That oil is pouring really, really slow. Try not to make a huge mess. Deferred maintenance, dirty word on the farm. Okay, so since this takes 3.2 quarts, I went on and wrote on the cap of this last quart, and I bought cases of oil and several filters, just because I know I'm gonna need these for a long time. These four-wheelers are gonna be on the farm for quite some time. So we're gonna kind of guesstimate 0.2 quarts real quick, and then we'll check it again once we've let the machine run for about a minute. Okay, so 0.2 quarts, we should be at about 800. There we go, on the mark here. But just in case, always write this down on your cap, that this is a partial quart. That way you don't think you're filling a full quart when you're not filling a full quart. Okay, so we'll pull our funnel out and we'll replace our dipstick, and we'll start this machine and let it run for about 60 seconds. If we're gonna go ahead and start it up, we might as well show you how to reset the maintenance minder on this thing. We'll turn the key on and show you exactly what the Honda shows. It shows a little wrench. Okay, so as I turn the key on right here, you'll see a maintenance reminder little wrench pop up right there. Okay, you can see that little guy. What we do to reset that is we'll turn the key all the way to the off position. We'll hit this button, this reset button. We'll turn the key on. You'll see the wrench flash several times, and then the wrench will disappear. And then our maintenance minder system has been reset. It will remind us next time it's time to service this machine. Pretty cool. Let's fire it up, and we'll make sure that we're circulating oil. We'll recheck in about 1 minute. All right, we've ran for a good solid minute, and we're gonna go ahead, we'll pop our dipstick out. Engine's nice and warm now. Very nice. We'll wipe this guy clean, and when we replace our dipstick to check our oil, we're just gonna stick it in and slide it out and make sure that we're on the mark. And we are on the mark. Awesome. So that's it, guys. No more dirty words on the farm. No more deferred maintenance. So we've got the Honda all serviced. We're actually going to service the other Honda that's parked in front of it too. We're going to make sure both these machines are serviced, ready to rock and roll for this coming season. I've got a really cool treat for you for the other machine. We've got a loader system and a 3-point hitch system we're going to be installing on that thing. So it's basically going to make it a compact tractor. I can't wait to do that. So guys, come on back and see me here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. I appreciate you. Hope you learned a little bit. Hope this reminded you to change the oil in your machine and keep up your oil changes, and don't defer that maintenance. We'll see you guys next time on the Stoney Ridge Farm channel. Please pound that like button, jump in, subscribe. I'd love to have you back. All right?
Come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge.
Oh, and we got to get to work. Hey, girls. The cows are hungry, man. They're down there. Woo! Hurry up, man. You're outside. You better be feeding us. See you guys next time.